move the hoop, I have one continuous belt. This is the really long one that's just waiting to explode in my face. It's interesting because the final position of the cart is a combination of the position of both motors. For example, if I want to move the cart to the right, I rotate both motors in opposite directions. The backboard has two belts attached to it, one at the top and one at the bottom. To make it tilt, you pull on one and push on the other. The tilt motor follows this T-shaped path and connects to the second motor up top. The tricky thing about this arrangement is that the angle of the hoop is coupled to the position of the cart. If I pull the cart up, the hoop points down. And if I pull the cart down, the hoop points up. And if I take things too far, stuff's gonna break. If I move the tilt motor, it tilts.
So you might have just watched the psychological horror film, The Hole in the Ground, but you're still looking for more answers. Don't worry, I've got you covered, because I'm going to be breaking down the movie, going over the mistakes made along the way, and tell you about the details that you definitely missed, as well as ways to prove the changelings are real and destroy their nests. First, you will analyze the details of some key scenes and gather information we need to beat the monsters. If you want to jump ahead to those sections, go to the timestamps below. If you got your own ideas, let me know in the comments down below. This is The Hole in the Ground.
I'm watching YouTube.
So let's jump straight into this one. The film is about a woman who believes her child is taken by creatures and replaced by a shape-shifting imposter. But what are these creatures? Here's what you don't know. These creatures are mainly based on legendary changelings, which the director of the film confirmed as his source of inspiration. Changelings are the offspring of fairies that replace the children of human families. Think of them as like serial-killing Tinkerbells. Yeesh. So what are the poor schmucks who have to deal with that? Well, Sarah and Chris, who are moving to the middle of nowhere Ireland, far from the demons of their past. She almost runs into this creepy old woman standing in the road, who's muttering under her breath and staring at Chris. Old ladies in horror movies, never a good sign. The O'Neills move into this fixer-upper, but that night after dinner, we learn that Sarah lied to Chris about his dad coming with them and runs away after calling his mom a liar. The joys of motherhood. Chasing after him, Sarah can't seem to find Chris anywhere in the dark wood. But she does hear him screaming from somewhere.
David, what build do you think I'm on?
Around, she ends up near this giant sinkhole. Like, it's massive. It's gotta be as big as a football field, smack dab in the middle of this clearing. And the thought occurs to Sarah.
I have a play shot, shooting, power 4, and I got a three level score.
This scene has key information that we need to beat the changelings. This hole is where the changelings live, and we learned that they disguise themselves.
You know, it's my 3rd level.
And replace them. But one weakness is that they can't steal the children's memories. If you want
I made it today. I mean, he has no shooting badges.
So when Chris says, "I know that Dad makes you sad," this confirms that he didn't fall into the hole. He hasn't been kidnapped or replaced yet. Now, as the O'Neills get used to living here, Chris is doing good in school, if a bit of a loner, while Sarah's making friends with some of the locals. But as you can see, she's a bit distracted. But the conversation turns to Maureen Brady, that crazy woman Sarah met, who, rumor has it, ran over her son with a car. I hope she had car insurance. During the night, Sarah wakes up to the floor creaking, and checking it out, she finds that Chris is missing from his bed. In fact, he's nowhere in the house. Did you see that? For a split second, someone was poking their head out behind the tree. There. You can see that it's actually Chris, but he's shirtless and hiding. Like Scoob. Let's get out of here. Rach, we're out of here. Sprinting back home, she goes to call the cops to report Chris missing. But she hears a floor creaking, and Chris is here, waiting outside of his room. He's been here the whole time.
Where were you? Here, you weren't.
Which brings me to the next key piece of information. Changelings are very sneaky and fast. They manage to slip into the house, take Chris, bury him, and get back all within the blink of an eye. And they broke into the previous night too, as Sarah finds the front door open in the middle of the night. So how can we use this information to beat them? Sarah obviously should have locked all the windows and doors after finding it open the first night. Look, I get it. They're in the middle of the woods, but it's honestly common sense and the most basic way to protect yourself. This would have taken away their advantage of stealth and left them to brute force, making more noise and giving Sarah a better chance to prevent it. But as it is, Sarah isn't sure what's happening and why Chris went missing. Whether she was hallucinating or Chris was naked out in the forest like an ancient druid, either way, Sarah's not taking any chances and gets checked out by a doctor the next day. And she leaves the doctor with 3 weeks worth of sleeping pills. Now, when she wakes up the next morning, she finds Chris has a bouquet of flowers for her that he got from the garden. It's unexpected, almost out of character. At school, Chris has made some friends, and as the two of them drive back home, there's a small detail that you might miss. But when Sarah asks him about his new friends, Chris mentions a Stuart Mackin, someone he earlier called a buttface. And when Sarah asks him, wait, didn't you hate him? He gets this look on his face that's almost scared, like he was caught in a lie. But that's when they run into that crazy lady, Noreen again, standing at the end of the road. And when Sarah tries to get her to move out of the way, she tells Sarah, "It's not your boy." Thank God her husband, Des, is there to rein her in. Sarah takes that as her cue to leave, but as they're about to go, Noreen begins shouting and slapping the window like a crazy person, which, I mean, she is. But looking at Sarah's face, it gives her something to think about. The next day, when she goes over to talk to Noreen about her boy, she finds the old bat lying face down, ravens nipping at her skin, as her head's been buried in a hole in the ground. What the hell is going on? Now take a look at what you missed. Our next key point to mention is that changelings will hide their true identity at all costs. In this scene, Chris is instantly on guard of Noreen because she knows who Chris really is. She doesn't respond to the car honking, but to Chris's changeling being nearby, zeroing in on this instinct that she knows him, and he definitely knows her. Her son, James, was replaced by a changeling long ago, and after being shipped off to see a doctor, she came back and ran James over with Des's car. Chris's changeling likely knew about James' own imposter and knows who killed him, and why she ends up dead the next morning, to keep his secret safe and get revenge. If Noreen hadn't confronted the changeling, she would be alive and be able to help Sarah defeat him. The best thing to do here is to quietly gather evidence and let the changeling think that you don't suspect anything. It gives you time and makes them less guarded. This is really important, because otherwise you'll end up dead just like Noreen. The thought is terrifying, and when Sarah's being interviewed by the cops about the body, she has this vision or hallucination. As she's looking across the way to her son having this arm wrestling match with this guy, she sees that he's strong, like really, really strong. He breaks the other guy's arm at the wrist, just thank God it was all hallucination. Or was it? When Sarah returns back to the giant hole, going out for a jog, she finds one of Chris's action figures nearby. She needs answers, and dinner is the perfect time for that. Sarah asks him if he's been outside and where he's been playing, with Chris saying again and again, "No, I haven't." And Chris gets so angry that he shoves the table, plates and all, so hard that he pushes back his mom against the counter. And here's another key moment. We learn that changelings are freakishly strong. And this time, it's not just a vision. We can use this information against it, because we learn it is easily provoked, which could help us prove that Chris is a changeling. Provoking it in public would be best, as it keeps you safer than confronting it alone. And hopefully people don't just think that the kid's on steroids. Of course, that's not the only hint that clues her in. That night, she's enjoying some me time doing her home spa thing. She hears noises coming from Chris's room, and she creeps down below to peek under the door frame, and we see the spider crawling along the floor, and Chris is there crawling after it on all fours, like an animal. It's weird because Chris is afraid of spiders, and now he's fine with it. And when she peeks at the keyhole to get a better look at what's happening, she sees him hunched over like a goblin or something, munching on the spider, and it freaks Sarah out. You know, if that was my son, we'd be having a talk. Like, dude, you know we have leftovers in the fridge. Was my cooking that bad that you would literally rather eat spiders? That's it. From now on, you're eating bugs for dinner. Don't come crying to me because you missed spaghetti Sundays again. You brought this on yourself. So, anyways, she takes the child to the doctor for a visit. And the doc finds that nothing's wrong with him. It's not the most unusual thing a child's eating. Now, even though the doctor doesn't believe him, Sarah's got a plan and goes to buy a digital camera that she hides in Chris's incredibly neat and tidy room. Yeah, definitely not her kid. Or any kid for that matter. I mean, have you seen my bedroom? Yeah. Anyways, she finds the perfect place to hide a digital camera that she leaves running in this hole. Now, I really wish she was more careful because Chris finds it and asks her what she's doing in his room. And she tries to wave it off as just doing laundry, but you can tell that both mother and child are stuck in a cold war as they are both suspicious of what the other one knows. And when Sarah comes back for the camera the next day, she sees something shocking that might prove she's not crazy. And this brings us to proving the changeling is a changeling without Sarah letting you know what she's trying to do. The best way is for Sarah to get as much information as she can to prove that something is wrong with Chris. Taking that along with video recordings of Chris's odd behavior, she could then go to a child psychologist and give them all this evidence. A child psychologist would ask the changeling questions about its mood, about its memories, like, can you tell me when you felt scared? Do you miss your dad? Things that the changeling wouldn't be able to answer. And the psychologist would be able to confirm Sarah's thoughts. Yeah, there is something wrong with your son. But okay, what if the changeling is able to pass all the questions? Since we know he was able to behave normally in a social environment at school, talking with other kids and befriending Chris's bully, we might need some harder evidence. Sarah took her camera and evidence to Des, but it turned out to be a big mistake. Des doesn't believe what he sees and destroys the camera. But we do learn some key information from the scene that we can use to prove the changelings are real. Des tells Sarah that Noreen used mirrors to check if someone was a changeling, because the reflection showed their true form. Something Sarah can do is hang up mirrors throughout the house, keeping them around places where the changeling would be, and secretly take photos of its reflection using her smartphone. Now wait a minute, there are several scenes where the changeling is in the car, where he should have been seen in the rear view or side view mirrors. But if you look closely, the side view mirror isn't there because it broke off the first time Sarah ran into Noreen. With the photo of the changeling's reflection and of course the changeling locked up, she has enough evidence to prove without a doubt that she isn't crazy. Unfortunately, she doesn't do any of that, and now she's beginning to crack. And we see how far she's gone as she watches this performance at school. The kids in Chris's class sing this song with smiles, but Chris is soulless. And when it's his turn, he speaks it.
And the hole in the book. Book. Don't
Let me send you a video.
Never blinking, only staring straight at Sarah, and freaks out, running off like a L'Oreal commercial, long hair bouncing through. L'Oreal, because I'm worth it.
Action! Here's these group of like
Yeah.
rad girls that are like skating and making videos.
Sarah's now more determined than ever and is hatching a plan. Those are her meds in the rubbish thing. And it seems her plan revolves around cooking up Chris's favorite spaghetti. And she's very careful not to sprinkle the Parmesan cheese on her pasta. Whatever she's put into it makes Chris all sleepy and tired. That should make it easier to deal with his super strength. Smart. And what's even smarter is that she's going to play a game with him. His favorite game of making funny faces to each other after the count of 3. And guess what? Chris doesn't know what to do. And now they're at a stalemate.
Hello?
Okay, maybe not
What's
a
he doing?
stalemate.
What's y'all
He
doing?
definitely has the upper
My
hand.
career.
You know, as smart as Sarah has been up until now, this has got to be the
Yeah, but they
stupidest
will
thing
look
she
for
could have
the
done.
ecstasy.
Tricking the
That's like
shapeshifter
a
into a
refugee.
Mexican standoff, and she doesn't even have a weapon with her. It's a great strategy if you want your last words to be, I told you so. Not so much if you want to find your kid and live.
What I want to do, like, I want to play tic-tac-toe.
Now she's
No.
waking up, except that she's in a forest, being buried alive with a child. But wait, Chris is falling, going to a drug-laced Parmesan-induced food coma right next to his mom, who struggles to get back up and drag that child back home, dropping him down into the basement like a sack of potatoes, where she's got a mirror, which she holds up next to the child's face. And whatever the hell replaced Chris, he is not happy with Sarah, waking up and attacking her, only to get his hand slammed into a wall. That was super easy. And she locks the thing in the basement. But as soon as she gets out, the thing in there starts screaming its head off. And when it stops, she realizes where she has to go. Although this feels like a bad idea, Sarah, with nothing more than a flashlight, jumps into that massive hole in the forest, sinking into these old tunnels, but they're cramped, full of dirt, soil, bones, human bones, which have been here for who knows how long. But looking closely, that skull right there has 2 missing front teeth. Guess we know what happened to him. And to Chris, who she finds here, asleep, carrying her son to take him back around, Sarah sees more of those things waking up in the cave. Now, one of them chases her, and Sarah makes a mad dash out of there. But as she's dragging Chris out, that thing grabs her wrist, and Sarah just begins smacking on this thing's wrist. Then she stops.
My fault. I was
Because she
watching this
realizes it now has a human hand and face. Her face. Looking at the other Sarah, you can see there's something missing in her eyes. Something not quite human. Now, somehow she gets out of her son and goes back home to pick up the car keys. But there's still one loose thread to deal with. The thing locked in the basement, who's still alive. Sarah's got the solution. Burn it. Burn it to the ground. Destroy any chance of this nightmare coming back to get them, leaving it all behind. Going from one restart to the next, Sarah returns to her studies in the city, away from her husband, away from the hole, and yet that paranoia, that trauma and confusion still remains, still unsure if her son isn't one of those things, as she has mirrors placed throughout the house. It seems like Sarah's everything. She was smart enough and
all your money went towards your bills, but you need a little gas to get you through the next payday. That's where Chime.
She threw the dog at the person that she was talking to.
You know who this is? David. Don't you know who this is?
What is going on, everybody? My name is John Solo, and this is Fables Explained, the show that somehow ruins and improves childhood simultaneously. We do this by taking your favorite childhood stories, tracing them back to wherever they came from, and breaking down the many evolutions they went through over time. Today's subject of discussion is a highly requested one, the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. It's a fairy tale we were all told at some point, and if you're one of the few who wasn't, you probably saw it referenced by Disney, Looney Tunes, Spyro, Looney Tunes Again, Tom and Jerry, Sesame Street, or a billion other places. It doesn't really matter what version you're most familiar with, because the same plot elements are present in almost every one. A young lad named Jack trades the family cow for some magic beans. In a fit of rage, his mom throws those beans out the window. They grow into a giant beanstalk. Then Jack climbs the beanstalk and learns there's a man-eating giant living in the clouds. He always steals something of great value from that giant too. A bag of money, a bird that lays golden eggs, a harp that plays itself, and sometimes all three. At the end of the story, when the giant finally catches him in the act, he chases Jack down the beanstalk. But the lad is just a little faster, and when he gets to the bottom, he chops the beanstalk down, causing the giant to fall to his death. Since Jack and his mom are now independently wealthy, they live happily ever after, and that's the end of their adventure. This story fits in Arn Thompson category number 328. Golden eggs, a harp that plays its and when he gets to the bottom, he chops the beanstalk down, causing the giant to fall to his death. Since Jack and his mom are now independently wealthy, they live happily ever after, and that's the end of their adventure. This story fits in Arn Thompson category number 328, The Treasure of the Giant, which should come as no surprise, given how the story's events revolve completely around the giant's treasure. The most popular version of this fairy tale, the one that's being referenced in most of the examples from earlier, was written by Joseph Jacobs and published in his collection called English Fairy Tales in 1890. However, while his rendition is the one most people know nowadays, it was definitely not the first. If you've seen our show before, you no doubt know that many of the stories we talk about are tales that were shared only orally for hundreds, if not thousands of years before they were written down. As a result, we rarely get to learn who really came up with many of these fables or what their motivations were. This is also the case with Jack and the Beanstalk, where researchers have recently traced it back 5,000 years back to the Bronze Age, when it was being told in ancient Indo-European languages that don't even exist anymore. And while the details have no doubt changed over time, the story seems to have always been about a man ascending to a magical land in the sky where both dangers and riches are lying in wait. And now that the hype has been adequately built, it's time for us to jump into it. Make sure to hit that like button to support the channel and keep our family growing strong, and subscribe and ring that bell next to it to be notified whenever a new episode of Nutpeen 34. No means an exaggeration to say this book is weird as hell and definitely not meant for children. Some of the other sections include a rant about how no one celebrates Christmas like in the good old days, i.e. giving out free food, details about the lifestyles of hobgoblins and witches, and instructions about what to do if you find two people in bed together when playing hide and seek. It might sound like a fun, zany book to skim through, but it's objectively not. Between the random subject matter and the clunky writing style, it actually reads like the work of a madman, and for all we know, it is. This holds especially true for its chapter called The Story of Jack Spriggins and the Enchanted Bean, which I forced myself to read so you wouldn't have to. An important heads up before we get started, you're going to want to pay close attention to this one. Not only is it one of the most bizarre stories we've ever covered, it's even less coherent than the most nonsensical parts of Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to do my best to keep it flowing like a normal story would, but if at any point you find yourself thinking, what is this dude talking about? Just know that I'm thinking the same thing. So our story about Jack Spriggins starts with a weird old man named Gaffer Spriggins doing what most weird old men in these stories tend to do. He breaks the fourth wall and says to the reader, let me tell you a story about the lazy, dirty jagaloo known as Jack Spriggins and the magic
would you change your name?
So just imagine the rest of this story being told by an old man rocking on a porch,
You said what, David?
overalls, and chewing on wheat, or whatever farmers in cartoons are always chewing on. In this version, Jack lives with his enchantress grandma in a crappy little shack, and they have a very weird relationship. The book says that they lay together every night, and at one point she refers to him as a good bedfellow. Yeah, I felt violated just saying that. One night, Jack's old lady, pun intended, tells him that she has a magic bean that will make him richer than an emperor and put the whole world at his command. Naturally, Jack says, well, give me that bean then, but she refuses, claiming he'll forget all about her as soon as he gets it. Well, the next morning, that magic bean falls out of her purse, and Jack plants it, not because he wants to be rich and powerful, mind you, but because he's in the mood for bacon and beans. The stalk sprouted immediately after he planted it, and he ran inside to tell his grandma. But she is pissed because that meant that within an hour, she'd transform into a toad. I know Jack might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I feel like she could have just told him what would happen to her when he planted it, instead of saying, you forget about me, boo-hoo. Sadly, the enchantress didn't think that one through, so when the beanstalk sprouts, she attacks Jack with a broom, so he has to climb it to get away. And within an hour, she turns into a monstrous toad. The beanstalk continues to grow until it's about 40 miles high, and Jack continues to climb it. A detail unique to this version is that the beanstalk had little towns on its leaves, so Jack could stop to refresh himself. It's when he stops at a tavern located near the giant in the sky's castle that this story goes completely off the rails. First off, when he gets there, the bartender says, order whatever you want. We have everything in the world. But everything Jack orders, chicken, eggs, beef, mutton, veal, they're fresh out of. So Jack basically gives up and says, just get me some ale and I'll go to bed. Only whatever he ends up drinking is closer to ayahuasca than ale, because after only the first sip, he enters a dreamlike psychedelic state. The roof flies off the bar, the bartender magically turns into a beautiful woman that claims to have once been his grandma's cat. Weird, and a dozen attractive young ladies enter on horses. They start referring to Jack as Lord of the Manor and Invincible Champion, the same way that strangers refer to me on a regular basis, and before long, he's surrounded by even more magical characters. And it only gets crazier from here. One of those magical characters gives him an enchanted ring that will grant him several wishes. In the following order, he wishes for food, his fine lady to have some clothes, because apparently she was naked this entire time, good music, and to be in bed with his lady. Each of those wishes are granted, the couple falls asleep, and they both have a dream where some kind of fairy spirit makes them a prince and princess before telling them of a prophecy. According to this prophecy, they must go to the giant's castle where they'll be safe and entertained for 3 days, as long as Jack keeps the stone on his ring and the princess to his north. See, if they're not to his north, then the protection enchantment just won't work. I know, totally obvious in hindsight, right? Oh, and by the way, turning his ring to the south will make the princess transform into a basilisk and kill everything in sight that isn't Prince Jack. Couldn't forget that detail. The next morning, they walk over to the giant's castle and they hear him cry out,
"Fee, faw, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Whether he be alive or dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread."
Now, even with context, fee, faw, fum is a pretty random phrase to be shouting at the top of your lungs, and this wouldn't be messed up origins if I didn't look into where it came from, so here's what I found. The earliest written variation of this rhyme went fi, fa, and fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. In 1596, the playwright Thomas Nash included it in his written response to English author Gabriel Harvey, who at that point he had been publicly feuding with for years. Nash stated the phrase existed for ages before he ever wrote it down, but I think it's funny our first record of it comes from a feud between writers who were dropping disses on each other and selling those disses to the public in pamphlet form. A variation of the phrase can also be found in Shakespeare's 1605 book, King Lear, where he switched the phrase to fi, fo, and fum, I smell the blood of a British man. As many of you know from when we talked about Hamlet in my Lion King video, William Look How Unique I Am Shakespeare liked to take mainstream ideas and change them just a little bit so his version would stand out. That's basically what he did with Hamlet when he adapted the already existing story, Hamlet. As for what the phrase actually means, we know the word fi is used to express outrage, so it's basically just jargon to show that a character is angry. Anyway, Jack and the princess knew they were safe because of the ring's enchantment, so they entered the castle without worry and ended up surprised when the giant, known as Gog Magog, was excited to see them. Probably because Jack had a pretty young thing under his arm and the giant was partial to pretty young things. That night, when the prince and princess were laying in bed, still at the giant's castle by the way, they heard the voices of thousands of virgins crying for help. If for some reason you want to know what that sounds like, just YouTube any Fortnite esports event. Jack knew that this was the time to use the ring's power to its full potential, so he turned the stone to face south, which transformed the princess into a basilisk and allowed her to kill the giant by turning him to stone. Afterward, Jack twisted his ring to face north again, which allowed him to make even more wishes. With the ring's help, he easily navigated his way to the room where the virgins were being held captive, set them free along with some knights in shining armor, and on a pretty abrupt note, the story ends. What'd I tell ya? That was a crazy one, right? And not a lesson was learned throughout the whole thing. What may be the craziest part is this was the only Jack and the Beanstalk story published for over 70 years. Either because no one knew how to adapt a story like that, or no one wanted to because it kinda sucked. Either way, in 1807, we saw two new versions get published, each with their own unique, messed up details.
Readjusting won't be easy. Start by smelling your best again.
You must have not known what I was talking about there.
Get clean, smell ready.
Man, Marcus Morris threw an air ball trying to pass it to Anthony Davis. How do you pass an air ball? How do you pass an air ball?
Don't move, Amy. Okay.
Okay, Danny Green, Mr. Open 3-pointer. Top
You
of
sit
you.
there, home, you watch TV, and your life is passing you by.
Three times best out.
What's good, YouTube? Today, your girl Nan is going to be pranking boy. I will be pulling the meeting.
And a shooting.
On prank, as you know, I always come correct with pranks. I'm also going to do this prank better than what he did. I'm already in her row. I feel like this is the best prank that I can pull on him. He's already occupied playing the game, not paying attention to me anyway, so I'm gonna get his attention. I'm gonna bring y'all along for the ride, and I'm gonna let y'all see his reaction. I hope it's a good one. Stay tuned.
Oh, God damn it! See? No!
Hey, Clark.
No. Hey, that shit tickle, man. This girl is bit tickling me, son. What time the game come on? He sleep? Oh, you didn't money? Oh, he did? It's funny that the moment this nigga say that the Lakers
Y'all got hotspots already, you see that?
get at least one.
Look at these hotspots. But I just made this build. I got him in like 2 games.
Taking it home for Kobe. It's just crazy. All these niggas be posting Lakers like they Lakers fans. They no Lakers fans. Everybody know I'm an OG. And I'm gonna post it when we win. All type of throwback pictures to let them know.
We ain't gonna start playing this.
Shit, whenever everybody get on there. This putting us in the mess now. Man, this girl and this bitch tickling me, son. What type of time you on? I ain't shit, this bitch tickling me. What type of shit?
This is how the band that I be on.
I'm saying. Big shit is tickling me, bro. What the fuck?
What are you talking about?
What? What you mean? What type of time she on?
I'm not on any type of time. I'm trying to find her.
I say she on the top of you.
No, I'm not.
Huh?
No, I'm not.
Shit, I ain't got around here so long. They done changed my gun. This not even my loadout. Oh, yes it is. This my first loadout. I'm tripping. I was supposed to do the dance too. You kept, you been capping. And I noticed, I called you yesterday talking about a video. I called him yesterday talking about a video. You know what he told me? He worked tomorrow. Knowing you off on Friday.
Well, you know he
Knowing I don't know the date no more.
You know he worked.
Mandatory.
Hey.
Huh?
You gonna be gone when he's
Lord, I'm gonna go out.
You made that. Good mom.
Shit, I was next.
What?
I said, I'm gonna go out.
No, it's not.
The mom.
The lights had turned off early. I thought my Xbox broke. Lord, pick the goal up, man. Look. Yeah. Why you eating it like this? You supposed to eat one at a time. Hey, my phone, I was getting distracted in this bed, man. This my girl in this bed tickling me and shit. Say, son. What? Hey, let me hit you back like this shit in this bitch. Oh, I'm just trying to get slept tonight. She got a pop. You know what I'm saying? She got a popsicle in this bitch. Yes. Knowing that bitch cold. You know the one that got 2 points? She eating both of them at once. Yup. Alright. You know what that is? I know. What they call me? What they call me? Who is that? Boy, shut the fuck up. I ain't know. I'm gonna hit you up.
Who is that? Who is that?
What you mean?
Who is that?
What? Hold on, bro. What is you doing all that for?
I'm been eating this pasta.
No, you not. No, you not.
Well, how you eat pasta?
She got the roll on the M1. No, huh? Who put a roll? I'm just curious to know.
You watching Naked Beach?
Wait, let me call my dog back.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
David, what is she making right now?
I told you I'm looking for my tweezers.
Sponsor Lauren, you hear me? She the lady around there holding a little bit of her roll. Tell me what she got on.
Don't leave me alone.
And one draw. Who put and one inside a roll? You hear me? Like, what type of time you on? Shit, that's too cool. Look at her. doing around here? You don't never eat no pasta like this. No, you don't.
Huh?
Sheila suffers from resting squint face. Do you? My Eye Doctor has a cure. A professional eye exam and the area's best selection of eyewear. My Eye Doctor. Eye care and eyewear are better together.
Nigga, little hornball. Niggas beating his meat.
What? No, yo.
Yeah, that's why you was so quiet. You just heard the video.
That's why he was watching all these videos.
Yeah.
I saw, bro. I saw her on Instagram. I mean,
Little
not
hornball.
Twitter.
With the gloves
So I just looked up her name and now I'm watching her cooking
Found
videos.
another channel that does, I guess, the same thing.
Even though I'm never gonna cook this stuff.
That's why.
He little hornball.
There's no way to yo.
Ain't no good night, nigga. What the hell?
Cheesy corn.
Devon, I feel bad for you.
That's why I'm different. Yeah, why?
Cause you won't be able to nut until marriage. Cause you said you probably gonna wait till marriage. You remember that one time you said you probably gonna wait till marriage to have sex? Yeah. You said I said probably.
Damn, that right hand, that connects that damn. Where they having this at? This looks like a function. Trying to avoid copyright here.
You hungry for trouble?
No, I want some.
He going to 7-Eleven.
Look, y'all not from the city if y'all haven't had Tutti Fruities, bro. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, my mama bought a bag of that like 2 months ago. What flavor you like? You like fruit punch fruities?
I like the blue ones and the little red ones.
Fruit punch?
Yeah.
Cherry and fruit punch, those are my favorite fruities.
You ain't like the blue one?
I ain't never had a blue one. When I went to my grandmother's house downtown, they ain't never had them. They never had them. They only had fruit punch and strawberry.
The green ones are good. I like the little apple ones. Apple green, I don't know fuck with stuff.
It's blue. Wait, you talk about the blue ones, right?
Green. No,
the blue ones.
Green.
Okay. Okay, nah, I never saw green ones before.
Oh, you could buy. It is green ones. You could buy. It's this website where you could buy 2 pounds of it for $9. I don't care.
No. I only kept my eyes focused on fruit punch and vegetables. I mean, I said
Vegetable.
Might go eat some grapes.
Look at that.
These are sort of flavors.
Yeah, look at the green ones.
Green one's not that good.
No. I never. Strawberries. Oh my god, it's making me hungry.
That's what I'm doing. I just got 2 badges.
Whoa, how she do that? Crack the egg in the center. But I don't know how much force I'll put on the egg. If I put too much force, it's gonna crack.
They say they got 2Ds at Walmart, yo. I mean at Target for $5. They got like it's a blue pack. They got 360 pieces. Oh my god, I'm getting that.
My mother bought this big bag. I promise you, I do not think she used all of it. I think she gave some away, or the rest of the bag away, if I'm to be honest. Cause she bought 2 bags, yo. It ain't Kirby's FaceTime. Hey sir, FaceTime Kirby.
No, yo, cause she bought 2 big bags of those things, yo.
They gone, folk.
She bought 2 big bags of them things, yo.
They gone.
It ain't no way possible. It's gone, yo. She got a dolly and those things still last. Where the fuck is the, what you call it? Yo, I think she gave them away, yo. No way. No way. No way. Yo, she... Bro, we did not eat that whole, bro. I'm gonna have to ask her when she come home. Cause there ain't no way we ate both of them bags, yo. There ain't no way you ate both of them bags, yo. She had to give it the bag, yo. There ain't no way, yo.
Just to...
That's home, bro. Now I got no foodie. Now I got no foodie. I guess it's not good anymore.
The raspberry ones is the best. I don't care. No. It wasn't like green apple. Shut up. You did, Lana. Hey yo, what's that clapping noise in the background? Hey yo.
Double cheese. Alright, let's look at her link too. Oh wait, should've known. I should've known. I should've known. Bro, like, why? Bro, like, what the fuck? It's free.
What is? Who? I'm ready to create an OnlyFans and have me beating my meat on there. Yeah. You want to support my business?
My business.
Y'all gonna follow my business? See, y'all don't gotta watch it. Y'all can just pay me $5. Can I get my $5? No. Don't. No, see, you can watch the ads, that's it. Yeah.
Hey, TikTok.
Mm.
I don't know what's up, bro.
Well, I gotta log in to OnlyFans.
I told you I found it on Twitter.
So you do follow Twitter Pornhub and shit.
I know, it's a random Fortnite bang, yo. Who else got hit with a bomb, bro? Who else got hit with a bomb, yo? Y'all heard that?
Hey, yo, look at this, look at this.
Cause it's his view, right? Or like every time he uploads a video, goes like, "Hey, TikTok," and he like predicts fights and stuff. Like on fights, like I'm saying, it was a fight between him and The Rock, right?
Y'all know they exposed Tiger OnlyFans? You know they exposed Tiger OnlyFans?
You lying?
Look what I sent you. How'd I get it? You said how I get that?
No, I said how, like, the people who posted it get that.
They've probably followed his OnlyFans. How they gonna know it's you if you don't, if you could just put a ski mask on? Or like, I don't know, a mask. Man, I'm tired of the virgin life, man. I need to go fuck something. I need to go fuck something. Like, god damn.
Everybody in the comments keep saying why his dick so dark.
they was like, Tiger dick so pretty and big. Yo. No comment. Well, compared to mine. See, I'm 13, so my body's growing, but that don't mean my dick's small. Cause I sent girls pictures of it and they said it was big. Look, David. No, look, this girl. Huh? You want me to send you a screenshot? No, not of my meat, nigga. I'm saying at her text, nigga. Hey, yo. No, because it recently happened. Fuck, where'd it go? Wait. Let me find it. Fuck, I can't find it.
Yeah.
You know, Tiger dick got exposed.
Look what I sent you.
Tiger dick got exposed.
No, but just look what I sent you on messages. Bro, it's not my fault it was on Twitter. I was just trying to follow some freak pages.
He said I was trying to follow some sleep pages, man. He trending on Twitter, ain't he? I feel like he is.
He was. Man.
So that old. So that's old.
That was 4 days ago. That's crazy how she deleted her messages. Wait, but let me see. See, look, David, I'm right here. Thought I was a bluff. She deleted her messages. She said, dang, I can't call you Shrimpy no more. Told you I'm really out here like that, man. And that was on Thursday. You see the date, nigga? Yeah.
Wow.
Cause I told you.
Oh, that girl.
Yeah, look. My dick not in the thing, just to let you know. Nah.
Boy. No bluff. Look, seen.
She deleted her messages.
Alright, dang. That's what made you just break it up out of nowhere.
No.
You saw that message has been unsent by sender. Message has been unsent by sender.
No, I didn't even notice she did that until I actually looked at the messages because I was gonna send them to David. Cause you know, I got medium balls, big dick. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Exactly like that. If your ball is that big, that means you don't beat your meat. Like you don't. Demar, you got big balls.
Nah.
No, you have no balls and no dick. No man, nigga. Making an Ataki. Did you use an Ataki?
Takis are small, bro.
Nah, you said exactly. This nigga said my dick bigger than Takis.
Taki.
That's cap right there. Ain't no 13-year-old dick gonna be bigger than that. Pause. My dick dark skin, and I'm light skin. I don't understand that. Right, Devon? Isn't that how it go?
What?
Like it dick like dark skin, but you like light skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My D caught a tan, and I don't even, and it don't even be out in the sun.
Don't you know how they say your joints get black? Like your joints black, like how your knees black, cause like there's a joint right there. You bend your knees, and like your elbows black.
Yeah, my elbows black, man.
Yeah, but I don't think a dick got a joint in it.
So what would that be?
I don't know. I guess that mean we're not light skinned. Our body was light skinned, but we were supposed to be born darker. See?
Yeah, our wieners black.
So
our wieners cooking all the time.
Yeah, burnt glizzy. David got that raw glizzy.
Raw glizzy.
Yo.
If you have a raw glizzy, jump off the line.
Who said jump off the law? Yeah, alright.
Wait, huh? Wait.
These niggas be trying. How? That means that mean you gotta pull your dick down when you beating it. You gotta pull the skin down off your.
Oh no, Kirby. He said you got extra D on your skin. I mean, you got extra D.
Yeah, cause that mean when that mean that my dick is growing, right?
Yeah.
But I don't got extra skin on my dick tip. I don't got extra skin on my dick tip, nigga. I don't gotta pull my dick down when I pee, nigga.
Yo. Oh, yo, chicken wing. Chicken wing.
A little bit. Hey, I got a challenge for y'all. But will y'all do it before I ask it? It's not gay. It's not gay. You gonna do it to a girl? Yeah. Send a girl your dick and see what she say. You got well, send it on view once so we won't see it. We just want to see the messages and see what she said. You like when you send in a picture, like you click on a little picture, don't you know a little blue thing, and you pick the picture, you like choose what you want to send and press view once. He won't do it, no boss. Devon, you too.
Huh?
Niggas. This ain't again, Devon. Niggas said, huh? There you go. Oh, Justice just texted me. Do it to her. She up. Yeah. See, since she can't expose you, she live all the way not in Baltimore. She can't say it was you. Okay. If you delete it right after you send it.
Plus, you don't know what you look like, David, unless.
Yeah, it's your profile picture, Devon. That's unforgettable justice. Unforgettable.justice.
Change your profile picture. You ain't really have bad reputation in my name.
Yo, I thought Devon was a meme rapper.
You ain't really pop out with a stripper dude.
Yo, I thought Devon was a meme picture at first, yo.
Hey, yo.
Alright, so you choose what you want to send, right? Like, no, like, you go to the Instagram, right? Click on a blue camera, like in the messages. Click on a blue camera and choose the photo and put it on view once. Yeah. You want me to do it first? Alright. I got 3 pictures of my dick in my phone, but I got them inside. I got them inside like this little thing. It's called, no, I'm not gonna tell y'all because y'all probably gonna go to it at my party. No. So, no, but it's called Documents. You know what Documents is?
Like the app Documents? Oh.
No, that's not it. That's private.
Yeah, I got Documents.
Yeah, Documents. Yeah. I put it inside of there and then I deleted out my camera roll. I bet I'm gonna send it. Can I show you something? Question mark.
Can you turn the light off? You turned it on?
Let's see if she responds.
Look what I sent y'all.
So you said if I do it, you'll do it, right?
Yeah, you got some screenshots too. Heard what you said.
Alright. She ain't responding yet.
Did she open it?
Let's say Kyle. I'm gonna tell Kyle get on.
She asked if I played Among Us 2 hours ago.
She asked me, did I play Among Us 2?
I forgot. I didn't even see that bitch.
Imagine. Say no. Let me see. Wait, hold up. I wouldn't say my shit. I wouldn't say my shit skinny. My shit got some meat on it, but damn, you can see that fat ass vein through my underwear. God damn. Come on. Even my dick takes steroids. Like, come on now.
He said no.
Oh, I got pictures of those on my phone too. I told you I got 3 pictures, nigga.
The camera with ethicals on, yo. I promise you, he be.
I did. I did. Yo. Bro, she not. Did you text her? Nigga, she's not answering my text.
Yo.
Let me see.
No, yo. That's just answering my text in less than 30 seconds.
So it's that scene?
Huh?
Is that scene?
No. Yeah, it's that scene. What you mean? I'm confused.
Tell her text. Answer my question.
Everyone gazed to the baby pulls up in the park. That's not even possible, bro. Can you even have that right here? I know, but like that's crazy what you can do. I did.
Nah, they on PC. That's impossible. Bro, she not answering. David, text her. Text her. Can I show you something? And see if she answered your text. Yeah, says she's online. Yeah. Oh, she need to hurry up and answer so I can send it. Cause niggas be thinking that I'm a bluff for real. Devon a bluff for real. Devon, you a bluff?
Definition?
Huh?
Definition?
You like scared to do stuff?
David was the one that was so hyped. Why can't he go first?
Yeah, David.
He was so hyped.
I'll go first. It's just what? I'll be on a Mount West Green. No cap. I think it's no cap. Hey, David, choose a different girl. Like a girl that say she's online right now. No cap by OMC Tree. You know he did. OMC Tree. True, like true, I-E, something like that. I-E-E, I don't know. Alright, look.
Who, Brian? Oh, Wavy Goes, right?
That's Brian there?
Mine.
That's not Brandon.
Is that Ryan? Wavy Ghost?
That's Wavy. That's not Wavy. Is her account private?
Do you know anybody named Brian?
David, look. You want to do her?
Yo.
You want to do 3-3 on Fortnite?
Hold on.
You know, don't ask her. Let me see.
Alright, Kirby.
I'm grinding my career. Tell him 2 minutes. Tell him my career is gonna be done in 2 minutes. No, they could join this party. Nah. Yo, send me a girl, and I'll do it. Devon, you gonna do it too, right? Send a girl your date. All right, we'll get one.
You good?
Oh, you a bluff. You a bluff. Devon a bluff.
You gonna say 5 to the egg?
No, not at all. No.
No.
It said this upload is small. Do you want to make it bigger? Question mark. I'm saying yours, nigga.
I know. Try to disrespect me.
Say no. You know. See, you my son, so you can't have no shrimp. See, it running our genes. We got that elephant dingaling. that young horse cop power.
Young horse? No, I got that old horse.
That mean it don't work no more. You got that old horse?
Nope.
you got that old horse?
I got the dunk.
No, you got that old horse. Yo, it's okay, bro. You got that old horse, man. Oh my god, that's funny. Devon, you got that old horse? Yo, say you got that old horse, yo. I'm
Settings?
No, my Fortnite account.
Oh yeah.
I mean my Bluetooth account. Who's tapping on you, Nancy?
Yeah. That was Wavy Ghost she was on the phone with. Was it?
Y'all trying to do...
Shit.
Shit, you about to hop on Fort? Yeah, what?
you should play with us.
Let me see. Cause I was about to ask my friend if you want to play 2K.
We can go 5-5.
Yeah, if 5 and 2K or
No. How can you? How?
alright.
Go ahead.
Right. Alright, that's one.
Me, Wavy, Devon, and David.
That's not okay. That's fair. That is fair. That is so fair.
Big clutching with my finger on the trigger. Them niggas could have got me, but they didn't. They was bluffing on the mission. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. He got shot. Nigga living in Baltimore City. I don't know. Baby, clutching with my finger on the trigger.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Alright, so how about this? This is gonna be a team. Like, I have my friend. Yeah, I know. She real clean and stuff. So. Wait, it's a 5-5, right? Should we join David's party?
No. I already sent mine to her. It was big, nigga. Duh. What you mean? You send it to her? Alright. I gotta find it though. I probably deleted it because I be clearing my messages. Wait, I don't think so. Wait.
What, you about to delete? What happened, Kirby?
Huh?
Dude, what happened?
Nothing.
Who's he talking to?
Nah, man, we talking about going for a minute.
Dude, what?
Kick Devin? Alright. Dave, you don't believe me? Look at that thing. I was like, it was Happy New Year Day. I was like, it was National New Year Day or something like that. Well, it was, so I had to send that song. Look.
What does the blood mean?
I don't know. Period. I don't know. Fuck.
Hey, come here, that big bars.
Yes, sir.
Kirby, come on.
Huh?
Come on.
Alright, yo.